Hi, my name is Naomi Mburu, and I'm a first-year DPhil student here at Oxford in the Engineering Science Department. I specifically work in the Thermal Fluids Laboratory, where I'm working with Dr. Peter Ireland on trying to develop heat transfer systems for a nuclear fusion reactor. And in my spare time, I really enjoy being outside, so I spend a lot of time walking in the parks, going for runs, trying things like rowing or all kinds of Oxfordy things. And I really enjoy just hanging out with friends, listening to music, playing the piano and things like that. So I'm going to go through these cards. The first one, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? So in 5 years, I would have been about a year out from finishing my DPhil. So I would have been finished my DPhil about a year already. So I don't know, it's kind of crazy to think about what I'll be doing in 5 years. I might be a professor, possibly. I think it would be really fun to have a job where I could be interacting with young students, and also a job where I could be serving as like a role model to students who may not have ever seen like a woman engineering professor or a black engineering professor, so something like that. But I also could see myself doing something maybe a little different, like maybe looking into doing like a policy role or something like that. Because I really enjoy seeing all the different ways that my engineering degree can affect like the greater public population. Who is your hero? So that's a big question. I have many heroes, and when I think mainly about my heroes in terms of like engineering and my career path, I mainly think of all of the people who have been like pioneers in my field in terms of being the first. So what I mean by that is I'm from the US, and there's a lot of schools in the US that have never had, say, a black woman complete a PhD in physics or complete a PhD in engineering. So every time I hear a story about a woman who looks like me who completed, their PhD in engineering and they're the first one from, say, MIT or the University of Michigan or something like that, I automatically get so excited because it just shows how diverse the field is becoming and how much progress we're making as a society. So really, all of those women are essentially my heroes. What advice would you now give your 12-year-old self? So when I was 12, I remember, I think I wanted to be a doctor at the time. And I was just starting to learn about math and science and things like that. And I was really terrified by math because I saw that a lot of students were really good naturally at math. It seemed that they kind of had like some inept ability to just know how the math worked, and I didn't have that, so I felt like I had to put in a lot more work, which kind of discouraged me from doing something that would involve a lot of math and made me want to do something like a little less math heavy. But over time I've sort of realized that it doesn't matter necessarily what you're good at naturally, it's just what you're interested in, and regardless, over time, if you really are passionate about something, you can figure it out. So over time, even though I wasn't naturally good at math, I could figure out everything I needed to figure out, which in the end worked out in my favor. So I would tell my younger 12-year-old self like not to stress out so much about what you don't know and just focus on what you love, and then everything else will sort of work itself out. Describe yourself in 3 words. So the first word would definitely be relaxed. I definitely take things pretty easily. I go with the flow. It takes a lot to kind of get me, so that can be pretty useful in terms of like the ups and downs of the research life. I kind of just take everything as it comes. The second one would be practical. I think about things pretty practically when I'm making decisions. And the third would be, I would say, maybe adventurous, because I'm always interested in learning about new fields, even if they're not necessarily my field. They're learning about new things in general. Which is something that I've done a lot here at Oxford. I've gone to lots of history lectures, I'm going to some English lectures next term, just learning about other things, and I like to keep an open mind. And the last one, what is your favorite invention? My favorite invention. Hmm. That one is a hard one. I guess, uh, I guess I'll take a practical approach for this one. Um, the bicycle is really useful here at Oxford. My lab is kind of far, so walking would take much longer than just biking around. Even sometimes driving takes longer than biking around at Oxford. So like the bike really saves my life in terms of getting places on time, making sure that I can go places and not just be stuck in one place at all the time. So honestly, probably the bicycle. And that's all my questions. Thank you.